Make the ground shake.
Hey guys, what is going on? My name is Tom or Gummy, and today we are back once again for another Fortnite Creative Mode tutorial. Now this is something that's been highly requested, what we're building today. Today we are going to be doing a hillside mansion slash house. So of course, in front of me, I have a lovely hillside. This will apply to any hill you're using on the different maps if you want to, but this one specifically I'm going to talk about placing in the actual hill on this main island. So of course this is the default island. What I'm going to do is I'm going to place it between this ledge here and this one there. So again, it's going to be in between, off the side of the mountain, and it's going to be a really nice build. But before we get into building, let's first off start with the actual items you're going to need to build it. Now what I'm going to do, based on feedback, and to save a bit of time in the video, make it a bit easier for you guys, is I'm going to put a picture on screen right now, and it's going to go through each and every item and which prefabs they are from. The prefabs you're going to need is the Modern House Gallery, the Castle Tower Gallery, the Office Gallery, Factory Walls Gallery, Clock Tower Gallery, and the Ambient Gallery. So the Ambient Gallery is just as like an additional added bonus, but the other 5 are core. So, once you've got them, of course, please feel free to pause the video and grab them. We are ready to start building. Just before the video starts, I want to do a quick little plug. If you do enjoy my content and want to support the channel, please consider using my support a creator code in the Fortnite item store. That is GUMMYYY, so Gummy with 3 M's and 3 Y's. This applies to all purchases on the item store. It doesn't cost you anything extra, and it helps me create more regular content for you guys to hopefully enjoy. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off with the first floor, because this house is going to have 4 different floors. Yes, you heard it, 4 different floors. So we're going to start off by grabbing this panel here, which is the one that is the 4 squared tile. So let's head down to the side of the mountain, and the position we're actually going to start is just above this green grass verge right here. So again, we come to this corner, and you'll know it's correct, because once you place it, there should be a little bit of grass still visible on the edge. In front of this, we're going to build forwards 1 and then 2. So it's now 3 panels forwards. From here, what we're going to do is expand 9 blocks to the right, or 9 panels to the right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And then we're going to go inwards. So 1, 2, and 3. And essentially, we want to fill this whole area in using the tiled blocks. So you want to make sure that right up until the side of the mountain, so even those blocks at the back are still covered, because otherwise you'll have gaps and it won't look too great. So once you've done that, you'll have something that looks like this. Again, it's 3 blocks forwards from that left side, and it's 10 blocks wide. And this is going to be the base floor, the ground floor, and that's going to be our starting point as to what we're going to work from. So the next step we're going to do is we're going to grab ourselves the grey bricks, so these ones here. We're going to come to the left side. Essentially, we're going to work from left side to right side, and we're going to go floor to floor. So first off, we're going to come to the first block, and we're going to go inwards 1. We're going to place 1 of our walls, leave a 1 block gap, and place 1 wall. So essentially, you should have this overextension here. This is going to act as a balcony. In between the 2 walls, we are going to grab ourselves the door. So again, this is kind of like a garage door. The only reason I'm using this is because it's not actually a proper door using this same material as the walls. So we're going to have to make do with this. So it's going to be kind of an open plan, almost like patio door. But it works, so we're going to go with it. So the next step, we're going to start expanding over towards the right side. So we're going to start grabbing ourselves the grey windows. I've chosen the dual windows. You could use the singular ones if you want to. It's up to you. So feel free to grab them. We're going to head down to our base platform down here. You're going to notice there's going to be a lot of flying back and forth, back and forth. And what we're going to do is we're going to leave this first one. We're going to place 1 window, leave 1, 1 window, leave 1, 1 window, leave 1, 1 window, and then there should be a 1 gap at the end. What we do is we head over to the left side, grab our wall, and in all the gaps we're going to place our walls. So in each and every gap, our 1 block wall, and then we're also going to expand it to 2 to the side so that it merges into the mountain. And the beauty of this is actually when you're inside the finished house, you'll have part of the mountain visible inside the house. It just really reinforces the idea of you being, or living, I guess, in the hillside. So that is, technically speaking, the first floor. When I say technically speaking, because, I mean, we need to add some reinforcements to actually hold it on the mountain, so it doesn't kind of like fall down and cave in on itself. Now this was low-key inspired by a BuzzFeed video, and that's not something I thought I would ever say in my life, but it was. I saw a video, and I think it was like a real-life architect was playing Fortnite Creative Mode, and he had this really cool idea with the reinforcements and like the beams. So this is what we're going to be doing. So of course these beams are from the factory's preset, and it's essentially like these metal beams and then the corner rods. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the rear of the underneath, and we want to come right up against this wall. So you can see that the first one is going to be half merged into the wall. So it's right in the back corner. What we're then going to do is in front of it, on every single one, we're going to place this same block. So there's no gaps, nothing, it's just all the way exact same. So it ends up looking something like this. Now you may notice there'll be one or two that don't actually merge into the wall. On those said ones, go behind and place a second one so that it fully merges into the wall, just to again give the authentic beam look, even, again, if it's just something as small as that. So you end up having something that looks like this. Now what we're going to do is we're going to grab the corner pieces. So again, I've positioned that just in front. There we go. So we're going to head on down, and directly in front of the beams that we've just placed, we are going to place our corners. So again, in front of, and then what we're also going to do in a second is we're going to do it underneath. Now you don't have to do it underneath if you don't want to, but I think it looks pretty cool. So I've decided to do it underneath. Again, this is just an optional thing. If you don't want to, feel free just to ignore me and just have the upwards facing ones. And once you've done that, you have something that looks like this. Now again, if you do have any gaps in between the wall and the beams, please feel free to fill them in. As you can see, I'm doing right here. And yeah, with that said and done, that's going to be our support structure for the underside of the house. I think it looks pretty cool, especially when you're looking at it from a distance. You can see that there's been some thought that's gone into actually making it structurally viable. So that is the underside of the building. Again, if you want to pause, please feel free to do so. And now what we're going to do is go about detailing the first floor. So when I say detailing, I realistically just mean adding a wall, because that's all we're going to do. So we're going to go up to our material area. We're going to grab ourselves the smaller wall, so not the large concrete wall, but the smaller version. And we're going to do a solid ring around the outside of this platform that we've just built. It's going to cover up the windows, part of the walls, but most importantly, it's going to give it kind of like an outline, I guess would be the proper way of doing it. Proper way of explaining it, if I could structure a sentence properly. So again, in the corners, make sure to grab yourself the corner pieces, head down, and again, just add them in so it's a little less chunky and flows a little nicer. If you do have this kind of like visual glitch, as you can see I've got on my screen right now, once you place the corner ones, it should go away. If it doesn't, feel free just to delete and try again, and again, it should fix it. So that is the first floor. Again, if you want to pause, please feel free to do so. Now what we're going to do is start making some progress on the second floor. So, for the second floor, what we're going to do is we are going to start off by grabbing ourselves our 2x2 tile blocks again, and we're going to fill in everywhere above the walls that we placed on the previous layer. So again, that involves just going side to side to side, making sure that it merges in with the walls, because yet again, you do not want a gap. If you have, say, a gap here, you're going to be able to see through the floor, and it just doesn't look too great. So again, just go all the way across, making sure to fill in every single gap that is indeed visible. And once you've done that, you'll have a platform that looks like this. So that's the roof of the floor below, and it's a ceiling. Oh, sorry, let me flip that around. It's the ceiling of the floor below, and it's the, I guess, floor of the floor above? I don't know, I've confused myself at this point. But anyways, without waffling, let's continue building. So we're going to grab ourselves this kind of sandstone brick, the yellowy brick from the area up here. And what we're going to do is, once again, we're going to come to the left side, and we're going to go inwards 1 block, and we are going to place 1, 2, 3, like so. Also, you can place 1 right in the corner, just so it merges with the wall fully. And, as you can see, it ends up looking something like this. If we continue going around to the front side, we're going to place 3 more walls. We are then going to grab ourselves the window variant of this sandstone kind of brick, and as I fly down, we're going to place 2 windows and 1 wall. So again, that's 2 windows and 1 wall, and it ends up looking something like this. So again, what this gives us is a second balcony, a second of many balconies, should I say. What you can do, if you want to, is actually punch that out, go ahead and grab the door of the same sandstone variation, place a door right there, and it gives you kind of access out to the balcony. That would probably make a bit of sense. Now, for the next step, we're actually going to go around the corner on the right side, so this corner here, and what we're going to do is we're going to build in 1. We're then going to grab ourselves a door, we're going to go to the right, and then we're going to place a wall to the right of that. So it gives you this corner shape that looks like this. Now, I appreciate it is getting dark. Again, I'll pause the video in a second and wait for it to go light, but I just want to get this tiny corner out the way before we do that. So, as you can see, 1 wall, 2 doors, and 1 wall in a right-angled corner. Above this corner, we're just going to place a second layer of our kind of sandstone yellowish walls, and we're going to expand this around on the front side by 1, 2, 3, 4. So what this leaves us is a 2 tile gap, and again, that's going to act as a 3rd tier balcony. So we're living pretty big with the balconies right now. Talking of this balcony, going back to this section right here, we're going to add a kind of edge to it. So we're going to grab ourselves our balcony wall, and similar to what we did on the 1st tier, we are just going to go around the exterior until we get to the 3rd block in. So we've got 3 of these, and then we've got this wall here, the 2 windows, and a wall. Now we're going to leave that for now, and I'll explain in a minute why that is the case. But for now, once again, make sure to fill in the corner using the little corner block right there. And that is the balcony of this part. What we can also do whilst we're here is add a balcony wall to this next layer here. So again, we've got the 3 on that side, the 2 on that side, and it ends on this wall corner right here. Grab yourselves the corner piece, and also you can add 1 right there if you want to, just so it's a bit more of a smooth transition into the wall, because the wall does actually end there in this case. Try not to do what I did there, which is place it at the wrong angle. You want to make sure that it's actually at the right side. Does take a little bit of playing around, because it can be a bit tricky for whatever reason. But you want to get it right on that corner piece there. Again, if you can't, don't worry too much about it. I might just leave it because it is being a bit of a pain. So yeah, that is what the build should look like at this current point in time. And once the world gets a little bit brighter in a minute or two, I'm going to go over the next step, which is, if you didn't guess already, another big balcony. So, once again, going to pause the video here, and I'll see you when it's a little bit lighter. Okay, so continuing from where we left off, we are going to work, as kind of previously mentioned, on this next massive kind of entranceway slash balcony. So for this balcony, we're going to come to the right side, and in front of the already existent layer, we're going to overhang by 1 tile, and we're going to place 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of these 2x2 tiled blocks. What we're then going to do is, once again, add a nice little perimeter wall all the way around the edge, and again, make sure it extends into the mountainside right there. Once again, corner blocks, always important. And then once we've got that done, that is going to be, again, another kind of balcony slash lounge area. So it ends up looking something like this. If you back up, again, it's starting to take shape quite nicely. Now, one thing I did add, just to split this up, because the thing about this area is it's technically 2 floors. However, this floor doesn't have any windows, and that's purely just from the outside perspective. It would look really clunky if it did. So what we're going to do to break it up and make it look a little bit nicer is we're going to grab this kind of edge piece, like a balcony piece almost, and this is from the modern house. And if we head down to the windows on the front side, we're going to place 2 of these in front of the windows. What we're also then going to do is we're going to grab ourselves this small little edge piece, this one right there, and on the edge of said extension, we're going to place one there on the side and also one on this side. You may have to rotate it, but again, it just splits up the wall, makes it look pretty nice. What we're also going to do in the corner above the 2 doors is we're going to grab ourselves this 4x4 tiled block, and this one's going to be slightly bigger. So above the 2 doors, we're just going to place one in the corner. Then what we're going to do is grab the slightly larger edge, so that is going to be this one right here, and we're going to probably, as you guessed, place one on that side, one on that side, and then we need to grab the little corner piece, you know how important the corner pieces are, and place it in the corner just to give it that kind of finished look. So once we've done that, and I've actually got this in the corner, because again, you know how it is, these can be a bit fiddly as I try and place it, and you can see, almost got it. Let me try that. Let me try and move it rather than delete it. You can see it's it might take you a little bit of time. It can be a little fiddly. So if you don't get it, again, you're more than welcome also just to skip that part and just kind of leave it in the edge. So I'm going to do that. Again, you ideally want to get it in that corner. If you can't get it, that's fine. Just leave it as it is. So that is the little kind of breaking up points, just to split up the building a little bit, give it a little bit of shape. What we're going to do next is go back round to the left side and start making some progress there. So we head back over to this left side. We've got this whole floor here. What we're actually going to do is grab ourselves this 4x4 tile, and we are in line with this floor going to place a solid layer of this material here. And again, this is going to act as our 3rd floor. So it's slightly different to the others, but what's quite nice about this is the underside texture is actually different. So if I head below, you'll see it's got kind of a nice ceiling underside texture, whereas the others are just more like tiles. So this is a really nice material, and it does indeed fit in with what we're going to be doing with the exterior of the building. So for now, it should look something like this. You've got floor 1, floor 2, and now we're on to beautiful floor number 3. So starting off from this wall here, we're going to expand it 1 to the left. What we're then going to do is grab ourselves 2 of our lovely doorways, 1, 2, and then we're going to place a wall just so it merges into the mountain. So 1 wall right there. And that's essentially outlining this floor. Now, in terms of the other side, this part here, doesn't really matter what you do here because it's kind of merged into mountain already. You can try and place a wall right there, 1 right there, but most of it's going to be covered, so it's fine. For now, that's essentially the shape of the 3rd floor. So, continuing now, the next step we are going to work on is the 2nd, addition to this point, which is the next floor. So, for the next floor, what we're going to do is grabbing the same block as before, so the 4x4 tile, we're going to place a row of 4 of them right on the front layer, like so. What we're then going to do is expand 1 block to the right, forwards, and to the right. And you end up having a shape from below that looks like this. It's going to be an overhang of the front side of the building. And grabbing this block, this kind of half block, what we're going to do is start bringing it forwards at the front. So we're going to start off by coming around to the right side first. We're going to place 1 sideways, like so. We're then going to come to the front corner, and we're going to place 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. From here, we'll add a further one, so 6. And then we're going to place 1, 2, 3, and 4 of the 4x4 tiles, and it's going to give you a shape that looks like this. Now, of course, on the edges, it's going to be empty, so what you're going to want to do is have the edge blocks, like so, make sure to grab the smaller ones as well for the gaps. And if they don't meet up and it does something like that, all you need to do is just rotate them and it will meet up perfectly. So again, it can be a bit fiddly, but shouldn't be too difficult. As you can see there, once again, it will meet up with a little bit of rotation. So if we come around to the right side, the exact same logic applies. Oh, sorry, the left side. I don't know my left and right apparently. And what we're going to have to do is just place 4 of the larger edges and then grab ourselves one of the smaller ones and just whack it on the end right there. So that is essentially the little overhang of the front side. Now you can see the blocks I've used, there's a slight difference in texture. I believe if you actually spawn in the modern house and grab the ones from the ceiling, it is the same texture as that one right there. I may be wrong, but that's purely because I've only grabbed one of the variants. There are many variants. So again, that's avoidable. If you don't want that, then feel free just to delete this part and then just use these edges. So in terms of the actual shape, what we're going to do, and this is something I pretty should have done earlier, is expand this balcony 1 block out to the right. So 1, 2, 3. And once again, just like we did before, we're going to have the edge, and then we're going to have the little perimeter wall to stop you falling off the balcony. So again, expand it 1 block out to the side. From here, what we're going to do is we're going to grab ourselves the concrete pillars, once again from the modern house, this one right there, the white pillar, and we're going to come to this front right corner, and underneath this overhanging roof, we're going to have 2 pillars, one on the left, right there, and one on the right, right there. So, essentially, underneath each pillar, we're going to build it down to the floor. They should both finish right in the middle of the square tile. This one should be half kind of merged with the mountain. This one, as you can see, right in the tile, one to the right of the front. So you can see that's going to add some kind of structural support to the front side of the building, because of course you need some structural support. And what we're then going to do is head round to the left side of the build, and on this overhang here, we're actually going to add some structure. So we're going to add a beam on the left side and also a beam on the right side. Just the one, not the 2, like I've done there. And you want to make sure they're placed in line with each other. So you can see here, they are indeed in line with each other. There should be a small gap on the left side and a small gap on the right side. And it ends up looking something like this. So you can now see you've got this first balcony, second balcony, third balcony kind of tiered structure on the left side of the building. Gives it a bit of a gradient and makes it look pretty nice. So in terms of the next step, so right now, as you can see, you've got this large balcony, then you've got this upper roof held up by the beams. The next step is going to be adding the final floor, which is going to be a garage where you're going to be able to park all your vehicles. So we are going to grab ourselves the grey wall. We're going to come to the top left corner, and starting off at the mountain, we're going to place 1, 2, 3. We then come around to the front side, and we're going to place 1, leave a 2 gap, place 1, come around to the side, place 1, leave a 1, 2 gap, and then we're going to place 1 in the side of the mountain. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fly up to the top and grab the windows. So again, you come around to the front side. In this 2 gap here, we're going to place the windows, and then on the actual right side of the floor, we're going to grab our kind of garage doors, and we're going to place in the 2 block gap just the garage doors. So again, it ends up looking something like this. Now, in terms of this area here, what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to grab ourselves our floor texture, or our road texture, which is this one right here, and we're going to fill in from the garage door, so the 2 blocks in front of the garage door, whoops, not that one, so that one. We're going to do this all the way until you essentially merge into the mountain. So in this case, you can see that is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then on the 5th one, /6th one, on the front one, it merges into the grass, kind of gives you this nice road path going forwards. What I'm going to do is I'm going to, once again, grab ourselves the small wall, and we're going to place 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, potentially a 7th if you want to, of the wall there. And on the other side, I'm going to place 1, 2, 3, 4, and then just kind of leave it off there. So That is the wall on that side. You can again fill this part in here if you want to. If you are just going to go and fill it in, feel free to use the 4x4 tiles. Just says not a gap here down the side of the mountain. And in terms of the actual inside of the garage itself, just for consistency with the roof, what we're going to do is we're going to fill it in with our 4x4x4 or 4x4 tiles, and it's going to be the exact same texture as the previous floor. So that is, as I said, the final floor. Of course, you will need staircases going through it. I'm not going to talk about that in this video, but if you do want an interior, again, please do let me know in the comment section below. In terms of the roof for this area, we're going to grab ourselves the black roof. So this is again kind of like almost like a tarmac, but I'm using it for a roof texture. It's a really nice roof texture in my opinion, and it's something Fortnite actually use on most of their buildings for the roofs, so hence why we're using it. And again, just make sure it merges into the mountain like so, gives you that kind of solid black roof. As you can see, it's got kind of like a cracked roof, a cracked ceiling decoration on the inside, but doesn't matter too much. In terms of the edge, we're going to use the larger of the walls because of course it is the top of the building, the top perimeter, so we're going to use the larger ones, and again we just do a solid ring around the top of the building, merge it into the mountain, and then make sure that on each corner we have the edge pieces similar to what we did before. Of course these ones are going to be a bit more bulky. So that is the top of the building and the actual structure itself. One thing that you can do, which is also kind of included in the modern house kind of prefab, is there are garage doors which you can apply here if you want to do so. In this case I've chosen not to, just because they can be a bit fiddly and it would take me forever. I mean, you saw how much of a challenge it was for me to place the little edge there, and I still haven't achieved it. So I didn't want to really waste everyone's time, and of course I do it first try. I don't want to waste everyone's time in this video, but if you do want to add them, please feel free to do so. But yeah, in terms of the overall building structure, that is the building more or less complete. All we need to do at this point is to add the little uplighter lamps, which I've added from the new lighting pack. So what we're going to do is we're going to fly up to the top and grab the little white light that we have here. And essentially, this is from the concert pack, from the whole Marshmallow concert, but I think it works really well. So that's why I've added it as almost a decoration to the building. So what we're going to do is we want to make sure that the grid snap is on 8, drops are off, and what we're going to do is to the left and to the right of these doors here, we're going to place a light. So you're going to want to make sure that it's just in the middle and that it's against the wall. So you can see there that little black panel. You want that to be against the wall. You want to also make sure that they're about the same height. So if you rotate it, and you want to make sure again that it is indeed the same height. So let me just double check that it is not. So that is a good thing that I checked that. There we go. So that will be the same height. Now of course there'll be a few people asking about the rotations. This can be a bit tricky. You can see here mine is just auto because I set it up previously. What you might have is the fact that the rotation axis, maybe you want it on roll, it might be on yaw or pitch, and of course if you do that it's going to have all these different effects. So you want it on roll so that when you rotate it, it rotates like so. Come around to the front side of the building and you want to do the exact same. So you want to make sure to place it against the wall so it's not floating, and same on this left side in the middle. And you want to make sure, again, it can be a bit tricky to kind of estimate where to place them. But once you've done that, you can see it gives you 4 lights. It's just a little bit of detail, a little bit of light on the outside of the building. And yeah, once you've done that, that is the tutorial complete. So you have yourselves your very own modern hillside mansion villa, whatever you want to call it. That is, of course, the exterior complete. If you do want a video, once again, for the interior, please do let me know in the comments section below. If you had any issues with the video in terms of struggling, need any help, again, feel free to comment down below, and I'll try and help you as much as possible. If you did enjoy, as always, a like is very much appreciated, and if you haven't already, definitely consider subscribing with notifications on, as it will tell you every time I upload. Hopefully, fingers crossed. So again, if you do buy any skins, emotes, battle pass, or anything in general in the Fortnite item store, please consider using my support a creator code, which is Gummy with 3 M's and 3 Y's, so that's Gummy Why? And it means every time you buy something, I get a tiny cut. But of course, if a lot of you guys do it, it adds up really fast and allows me to still do this as a job whilst at uni. So again, much appreciated. Thank you very much for the support. And I want to see your comments in the comment section below saying what you want to see on the next video. Also, as kind of a test to see who got this far in the video, comment your current level and your battle pass level and your favourite skin. So I want to see those comments down below. And apart from that, once again, thank you very much for watching. Until next time, my name has been Tom Gummy, and goodbye. Eyes in the sky, gazing far into the night. I raise my hand to the fire, but it's no use, 'cause you can't stop it from shining through. It's true, baby, let the light shine through. If you believe it's true, baby, won't you let the light